You love me, are you riding? Say you never ever leave me beside me. 'Cause I want you and I need you. So you tell me always. What's up, guys? It's your girl, Lakeisha Michelle here, and I feel really good. I took my run finally before the live stream because the last time I've just been missing it. Like, I like to do my run before I do my live stream and get my life together. I had an amazing run. One thing that stood out to me on my run, and one reason I love to run, is because it's freeing. And when you're running, here's a tip. If you want to, like when you're running, especially outdoors, I really prefer to run outdoors. When you're running outdoors, look at something way ahead of you and then just focus on that thing. So like when you're running, just literally pick a tree, pick a light pole that's way in front of you and just focus on that. And what happens is you get to your distance faster, because why? Energy goes, it grows where energy goes. And so it's just cool because running reminds me of faith, because when you're running, especially outside, the ground is going up and down. I ran past a snake the other day, okay? There's just a lot happening. You got traffic, you got all these distractions around you. So that's what I like about running, because it's kind of like a metaphor for life. Like there's distractions everywhere, but if you actually run and focus on one thing, what I notice is that in my Nike Trainer app, I always hit my mile faster when I focus on an object. Good morning, up working on my dream. What's up, Chef Anthony? What's up? Learn, hair, and do. I like that. We always say in my tribe, learn, then do. Learn, then do. Learn, then do. Learn it, then do it. Okay, good morning. Good morning, Lala. Hello, everyone. So we're really going to talk about results right now. And I'm going to share with you guys one thing that I know for sure works. Do you guys want to hear that? Let me know. Y'all, my face ashy. I ain't putting no makeup on. I put some lipstick on because it's my favorite lipstick. Ladies, you ain't got to put on a full face. Just put some lipstick on so you can feel cute. Cuter than you already are. Thank you, Tiny, for my shirt. I'm wearing it today. Tiny mailed this to me. It says, own your obsession. I love it. I love it. I love the font too. Yeah, I like that. Anyway, thank you, girl. And I told you I was gonna wear it. What else is happening? So just back in the D. I'm finna go pick up my mom in a minute. I used to get in trouble for saying finna for my dad. I'm going to go pick up my mother, and we're gonna roam the streets for a bit. But I just wanted to come and continue our conversation from yesterday. Our conversation was so juicy. If you missed good tea yesterday, it was so good, because we're talking about getting the results that you want in your life and you changing the things that you don't want to see anymore in your life. And it's really not hard. What's hard is that we have wiring that we have to is de-wire a thing? You have to de-wire. You have to change what's been embedded. Where's my tea? In California, auntie. I wore your tea a whole bunch of times, and I made a video in it. Yeah, but yesterday was super good. And this is what I know for sure, guys, that if you want change, if you want to change the results that you see in your life, it's not about what you go and do. Most people don't like that. I didn't like that when I first started to understand that it doesn't matter. Like, here's the thing. My auntie, she's like, where my t-shirt at? Auntie, I made a whole music video in your t-shirt. But the thing about it is, guys, that if there's a result that you want to see in your life, the thing that I used to be prone to do was just go do a bunch of things. Like, go do. But what I came to find out is that sometimes, for the most part, the more that I would do things, the more overwhelmed I would get, the more I feel like it was just a struggle and a stress. Why? Someone tell me, why does it feel like you can go do more things, but you still get the same result? Somebody tell me why. Why do you think? And this is not just Keisha talking. This is a dialogue. And one thing about yesterday that I loved is that we kept pausing and applying. We were like looking at the principle, like, I can tell everybody was like, oh my God, that was a good live stream, right? And so I said at the end of the live stream, we're going to keep talking about this. And so it's about how do you get different results in your life? I'm going to share with you guys some examples for me, that things that I have gotten a massive shift and breakthrough over. And then I'm going to share lessons that my mentors have given me that I'm still applying, right? But really think about the fact, yes, Chef Anthony just hit the nail on the head, changing your thinking. There is a quote. Let me see if I can find the Einstein says. Hold on, let's see if I can find that quote. Anyway, I don't know. There's a quote that Einstein says that is basically saying, like, what he said was, like, you can't try to get different results with the same tactics that you use to get the results that you got. It was something like that. But he said it way more clever than that. But basically what he was saying was that you cannot fix a problem with the same tools that got you into the problem. So for example, an easy thing is money, right? If you still have the same mentality, even when you make more money, you're going to have the same problems, just bigger problems. I know this to be true. And until I attacked my mindset, and that was hard. It was so hard because you're wired. Can you imagine? You're wired to think a certain way. It's not nobody's fault. It's just the way that it is. And the whole thing is too, we always look at whose fault is it? It's no fault. It's just what happened, right? So when I was growing up, the conversation I heard the most was arguments about money, right? It's always, we don't have enough. We can't afford that. Money don't go on trees. Anybody else has some money stories? Come on in the comments and let me know what you heard when you were growing up. I don't know about where y'all from, but when I was growing up, it was there's never enough money, okay? And you still saw everybody working hard, like leaving it before the sun come up and coming home when the sun is over, right? I remember having to fix my dad's dinner because my mom worked so late. And so she would literally call home and say, go ahead and start dinner. Make sure it's ready when your dad come home. I used to be like, that ain't my man. I really did. Me and my mom used to get into it so bad because I'd be like, that ain't my man. I'm a child and I don't want to cook nothing. But then I would go cook because I ain't want to get no whooping, okay? Yes, it's like running in a circle and chasing your tail. Exactly. Doing the same thing, wanting different results. Exactly. Your actions follow your, come on, try your mindset. Exactly. So we all know this to be true. But here's the scary part. When the cameras are turned off, when Instagram Live ain't on, when, you're by yourself and it's time to do the work on any subject, not just money. Money was just the easy thing to talk about. What are you going to do? Are you going to actually sit and do the work? And I'm going to tell you this. I got so many people that I know and love that say that's just hard. Because what happens is when you begin to look into old stories that you have really been still living by, so many of us are still living. One event has become our lifetime movie. One event has become our lifetime movie in our mind. And so you literally are walking around. You see me, right? I'm present, but up here, the movie and the event is playing over and over. And so it's drilling down deeper and deeper, limiting beliefs and pain and hurt and doubt and guilt and shame. And so to get to the thing in your mind, you got to walk past all of those things. And the minute you even think about trying to do that, it is way too much. And your brain is always going to try to protect you. So what happens is your mind just goes, just go scroll Instagram. Just go put on the Housewives. Just go talk to that man because, girl, you's a mess. Don't worry about that. Just go to bed. You'll deal with it tomorrow. You'll deal with it tomorrow. And so what happens is we want different results, but we don't want to sit in the stuff. There's nothing wrong with sitting and feeling the things from the past so that you can feel it, understand what it's trying to tell you. Who do I need to forgive? Oftentimes it's ourselves, right? Be okay with, it's cool if I feel a kind of way. I'm going to lean into how I feel, like, oh, why do I feel this? And then I'm going to address it. The more you can address what's on your heart and the things that you have to walk past to get to the mindset, when you address it, it can't hang over you anymore. You say, oh, okay, I feel you. Like the whole thing is people always send me messages like, how do you get rid of fear? I don't know. You tell me, child, because I don't know nobody. I don't know anyone who's gotten completely rid of fear. Don't know anyone who's done that. But I will tell you that you can push past fear. And that is a practice that you have to, it's just like basketball. You got to do your drills, right? They have basketball camps, football camps, soccer camps. These camps have drills and scenarios that you keep running so that on game day, you know what I'm saying? You ain't trying to hit the drill for the first time. That's not going to work on game day. Now, the thing is, our life is game day. And so we keep putting off the work that we really have to do. And we're trying to get new results, but you haven't dealt with the things that are in your heart, that are in your past, that you haven't forgiven, that you haven't released, right? And so here's the deal. My auntie laughing. I mean, people be telling me that I'm like, I don't know, because I feel fear all the time. I'm just comfortable with it. It's like, oh, okay, what up? Half the time, I just know that when I feel fear, that means I should lean in. I should do it. Something is there. I need to check with. My auntie said, I don't know, child. You tell me. I know that's real. I just don't know. Mic drop. Yes, watching the movie with the same ending. It is horrible. It is horrible. I'm reminded when I'm with my mother who has symptoms of dementia. I would like to say she has dementia because when she with me, she do not hallucinate. But anyway, my mom reminds me every single time that I'm with her, Gigi, I miss you. Y'all, me and Gigi ain't been together. We ain't been together a long time. Okay, listen. When I'm with my mother, I am most reminded that your mind is always working, even when you're not working it. And so what you constantly focus on and what you tell it on a regular basis, it is working hard to bring you those results. Does that make sense, guys? I know I need to slow down because this is a deep topic and I want to make sure that you guys understand how you get these. We're going to get into that. Oh my God, I know, Gigi. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know. Like, your mind is always working. And so we have to be careful on how we've trained it or how it has been trained. Now, the thing about our mind is that, yes, it's in your head. Yes, it's your spirit. Yes, it's your mind, body, soul, heart. That's yours. But your environment, your history, your experiences all shape your mind. So you're not just the only person writing the story, even though we would like to be. You know what I'm saying? There's already, you spent how many years as a child just being a product of your environment. So your mind was being shaped. As a child, beliefs were being settled in along the way. So you have a timeline of your life. I need a whiteboard. If you have a timeline, which we all do, okay, there are events that are bigger than other events in your mind that you can go back to, and each of those events hit you and determined something for yourself. So many of my sisters, like women in general, but I can tell you my clique, I can call each of them on the phone, and there was a moment where they realized, I got to do for me. I'm going to take care of me. Can't nobody take nothing from me no more. Who knows what I'm talking about? Let me see some emoji hands or some hearts and some likes, and share this stream. Don't be watching and don't be sharing because you're looking and listening. Share the stream, okay? That's your offering. Y'all know this bootleg Facebook church. Now listen, there are so many of my friends who have gone through something that made them determined. Now, there was a lot of things, but that one time where you said, I would never be stuck like this again. I won't be dependent. I'm going to do this I got to do me. So what's funny is it's the joke in the media, like you the angry black woman. And if you ain't black, fill in your color, whatever it is. Like, right. You're the independent woman. You're like all of this, but you still won't love. No, like this is not, it's just what happened. Like there was a moment on your timeline, something happened, and then You made an unconscious decision, or maybe it was conscious. It's interesting how it works. And then all of a sudden in new relationships, whether it's at work, whether it's in friendships with a homie or a love relationship, you have a problem. And I know this because I'm that woman. You go between because you know I'm good with me. So what happens is it's hard to fool with other people because I know that I'm good. Like me and my girls, we all got big houses, nice cars, everything, right? So it's hard. I ain't gonna even say it's hard because I like to claim that. It's very interesting when you're courting new friendships, new relationships, whatever, because you just go, my world is so amazing by myself. Like, do I really want to let you in my world? Darling, it's fabulous. Like, it's so you have this whole, and that's just one example. Again, another example. Look at all the hands. Exactly. Look at all the hands coming through the emoji. Give me some emoji hands. Exactly, guys. And so, Auntie says, seriously, yes, push past fear. Do it in spite of fear. Just because it's present doesn't mean you can't move. Ignore it and do it. Exactly. And the whole thing is that you just push. Hey, Cherie, you just push past it and listen to it too. Because sometimes, I mean, fear is just an indicator. Should I go? You know what I'm saying? Or should I pay attention and watch something that's happening? So just, you can lean into it and be okay. Like, it don't have to run. It's not driving the car, as Regan said. Fear is not in the front seat. It's in the back seat. I can't put it out the car for whatever reason. So you just get in the back and shut up. Okay. And so I can keep doing what I'm doing in the front. Right. But think about it. If we want a different result, what we have to do is figure out, at what point did I develop the standard that I have now? Does that make sense, guys? So what I would like to invite you guys to do is to think about what I'm saying and begin to find one thing that there's one result that you want to change in your life. What is one result that you want to change in your life? Think about that for a second. And then we're going to apply, we're going to really figure like so that you can get, it's really this simple. And it's so simple, but it's something that it could take you months. It could take you a week. It could take you a day. It could take you years to get the result. But the thing is, when you really know you want to change and you really know that you're standing for something and you want a difference, we mess up when we have a timeline that there's nothing wrong with the timeline, but you have to also release the timeline because faith is showing up even though you pass your timeline 10 times, 9 times, 10,000 times. But you know in your heart and in your mind and your soul that that's the result that you now decide that is yours, that it's done. Showing you have to show up. So the timeline is not the thing, right? Think about a result that you want differently. For example, money is just easy. It's an easy thing to talk about because people, no matter what, I mean, you can always have a money goal. Oh, look, somebody just said finances. Exactly. So here's the thing. You have to dig. So literally, if you had a sheet of paper, and I invite you guys to do this. Where is my journal? I don't know what my journal is, but I'm constantly breaking through old stories in my mind. Remember, we have a movie that's playing in our mind. And it's like an old VHS. Y'all remember them tapes you used to have to stick in the thing? And sometimes the tape would get messed up on the tape. And so whenever it get messed up, it would kind of, the movie would look a little weird and then it would skip past it. So think about the thing that you want to have a new result in. Okay, somebody says finances. That's an easy one. Someone else says weight loss. Got it. So now you guys are following me. Cool, cool, cool. So what happens is somewhere along, remember the timeline, guys. And this is really a lot to try to do on a Facebook Live, but hey, you can rewind, press pause, whatever. So on a timeline, there are moments where you developed your money story. On the timeline, there are moments where you've developed a weight story. Does that make sense? And these stories are part of the big movie. Lala, exactly. So dealing with clients. On the timeline, somewhere in your life, up until today, some things have happened that have unconsciously created these stories and these beliefs. For example, with clients, Lala says clients, a lot of times when I'm coaching with stylists, they have been, because of their family, like other people around them have told them they not like so-and-so, they not good enough stylists, you know, or something happened to them in their childhood that they're trying to build a business, but that childhood thing is making them try to build a business like this. And here's the deal. You can't build a business trying to hide from everybody and be, no, a business, you have to get attention on the business in order to have a business, right? You got to get attention and convert that attention into money. You can't do that if you want to hide, right? And so you guys see what I'm saying? Like your life has already been being shaped, and beliefs have been embedded from different instances. So the question you have to ask yourself is, at what point? Because there's a standard with money. There's a standard. You either know you're going to, like for me, for like one of the standards was I will never not pay my rent. Once I had got them eviction, I've gotten so many eviction notices in the past. When I got sick and tired of it, my new norm was I'm going to at least pay my rent. Very low thinking, very low thinking. I invite you to think bigger than that. But at the time, and I think everything is always perfect because now I can tell the story, right? But at the time, it was always just, I need to pay my rent because I came out of an abusive situation. I just got to sleeping on somebody's floor, and I never wanted to do that again. I never wanted anybody to take anything from me. I wanted to have a roof over my head. I was trying to survive. So the new norm, once I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, the new norm was I will always pay my rent. No matter what, this rent will be paid. Now, I didn't know how. I was still broke, but something shifted, and I knew that I would never sleep on the floor again. I wasn't going to have a problem in that area. Does this make sense, guys? Right. Survival mode, right? You hit it on the nail for me. Boom. See what I'm saying? So we are all every single day going through something, right? And it's crazy. And it's in the back of your mind. So you're at work. What's funny is you see me, but you don't so if I'm in corporate, you at a meeting, we see everybody sitting at the conference room. And that's why I love God, because he sees past all of this stuff. Oh, I love God. You're seeing all the people at the table, and you might say, oh, that's Judy and John and Jim. But if you really just put all the work stuff aside, Judy still hears every single day it's quietly playing in the back of her mind that she is to be seen and not heard, that she don't speak up too much because then they're going to think this about you. And then she looks across the table at Jim, and Jim kind of looked like the dude who molested her. So she at the table trying to be an executive. She's struggling with this man is freaking me out subconsciously. So it's not at the forefront of her mind. She doesn't hear those thoughts. But every time Jim give a suggestion in the meeting at the corporate table, she like this. Oh, he get on my nerves. Oh, he this. Oh, he that. She got an attitude with Jim, and she don't know why. Why? Because although we see Judy, and Judy's at work, and Judy's at the conference table with Jim and John, the subconscious things that are happening are the results that we see. So we look at Judy and we say, Judy always got an attitude. Judy just being she don't even be in this conference because she ain't even giving no input. But Judy listening to the conference and she I know the answer. I know I can help. I know I can do this. She's not speaking up. And then when Jim says something, she's looking at Jim sideways. Do you guys see what's happening? Right. You guys say, yes, ma'am. Totally get it. Exactly. So this is why people always tell me before I even knew that I was doing this, I always have compassion for people. I don't care what you are, what you associate with, whatever. My mom used to tell me when I was a kid, you always have the underdog friends. You always taking in these. To this day, when I moved to California, my friends in California laugh at me because they say I pick up strays. But because it's interesting, I always feel for the things that we don't know how to verbalize. And so what happens is we label someone, right? And they're going through all of that. And the funny thing is somebody's labeling you and you going through your version of that. Now, back to getting the results. So moral of that story, we need to have compassion for people. You don't know, like, even if somebody goes off, like the other day I was in New Orleans and this girl really tried it. Ooh, she tried it. She tried it. And if I didn't know no better, if I didn't know Jesus, but instantly, instead of going that way, because it comes up, it ain't like I don't feel that, right? But I just looked at her and I was like, I just instantly saw, I was like, my mind instantly goes to what she could possibly be experiencing. And so I just smiled, let her have her thing. She was confused. She wanted me to pop off. I just like, okay, boo. Like you got to understand. Yes, it's like sitting in class and not wanting to ask a question for fear of what others will say or how they may look at you. Exactly. So many women struggle with this. So many women, because they're just an old saying, like people say you should just be quiet. Right. And so you struggle with speaking up because you don't want to be that woman. But guess what? That's just an old story. That's a rule that somebody made who probably ain't even alive anymore. And you get to write the rules. Now, here's the deal, getting the different results. So if you have a result that you're getting financially. So for me, until I had to really look at, why am I only being able to pay rent and buy a little Taco Bell? I had to really look at that. So then I said, oh, because that was my standard. So then I created a new standard. The new standard was, I really graduated. Not just rent, but I'm gonna be able to pay my bills on time. So then I decided that I was sick and tired of being sick and tired of not being able to pay my car note, not being able to pay my phone bill, not being able to pay my bills. So I decided in that moment, see, what I think is interesting too, is that it always came at a moment where I was just sick and tired. So on the timeline of your life, there are just moments where you decide things. And I think that you have to hit that level or else you kind of relapse a little bit, right? And so that's why you can get out the hood and you know you ain't going back to the hood because you just know that you know that you know. You just know, right? Now, if it happens, it happens. But you just know, even if I be back here, I ain't staying here, right? So why does that happen? Because there's a moment where things just go never again, right? So with finances, I realized that my standard was too low, right? And so instead of just trying to pay rent, how about you pay all your bills? That was my next train of thought. Hey, brother, what's up, Pat? What's up, Tiffany Nelson? So then I said, okay, I'm paying all my bills. And I worked hard. I just decided that I was unavailable for anything other than paying my bills on time. Now, it wasn't easy, but when I got sick and tired of being sick and tired, something happened, being on the phone with the bill collectors for the 50th time. I'm so good at getting stuff extended. I can get credit backs. I know all the Bank of America tricks on overdrafts. If y'all ever need me to be y'all advisor on that, I got y'all. I can get you some hookups, okay? I paid my car note 3 times in 1 year. That's all. Never got towed. Although I was nervous every time I heard a tow truck. I was like, oh God, they're coming. Oh, they mean. Whew. Then go back to work like you ain't outside looking to see if your car just got towed. Listen, hey, Toya. So the whole thing is you have to create a new standard. So what I love about this is that it's simple, but it's not easy because you have to move past all of the beliefs. So for example, the money story for me, it just kept evolving. I was just scared to dream bigger. So I would go from, I only pay my rent on, my first goal was paying my rent on time. Why? Because I was sick and tired of being stranded, left out, sleeping on the floor, blah, blah, blah. So I got sick and tired of that. And I created the new rule subconsciously that I'm just never going, that's never happening to me again, period. Right? Boom. So that happened. Then I was like, oh, well, I should pay my bills too on time. Boom. New standard. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. Ah! Then boom. All of a sudden, I'm just only available to pay my bills on time. So now I'm moving on up. I pay my bills on time, but I'm still broke. Confused, right? So then I realized, oh, okay. So, and over time, I just kept creating new standards in my mind, in my life. There was a shift in right up in this, my heart, my gut, and my head, right here. There's a shift that happened and it's gradual and it requires work. Do you know what it's like when you making $12 an hour and you trying to pay some $700 rent and a $300 car note and $300 insurance. You have zero money left over all the time. You're always in the negative. You're always trying to juggle. You know how many overdrives you can take to get into, like, that's the thing. So let's be clear. It ain't magic. But I just kept writing my goals. That's why I preach to you guys to write down what you want. Don't play no games. This morning, I was writing down my income. I was writing down my kind of clients I work with. I was writing down everything. This is what you do. This is what you do. Everybody says, yeah, I know. I know. But you're not writing it every single day. Obsessively write. Okay? And write it as a fact. I make this. I drive this. I do this. This is a fact. That's simple that people don't do. So to get the result, like, and if you find yourself struggling how to really get the result, all you have to do is figure out what story is there. If you find yourself relapsing and struggling and you're really trying to get a change, there's a story that you're not addressing. What do I mean by story? Do you know one day I was leaving my father's house, actually recently, and I heard very clearly in my heart, like, as a child, I associated the yelling. My father is a military sergeant. I tell y'all that all the time. He yelled when he don't even know he yelling. Like the other day, he was yelling at me, and I literally started yelling back at him, and I didn't even know I was yelling. And then he looks at me and says, "Why are you yelling?" I said, "Because you're yelling." And then we just looked at each other, and he was like, "Let's go to the store." I was like, this man is cuckoo. Like my dad, y'all know I'm a daddy's girl, but my daddy yelled all the time. So what happened is that instance is interesting. As a child, when you have so much yelling and you go from yelling to happy, yelling to happy, yelling to happy, there's an underlying belief that the yelling is related to the happiness. Isn't that crazy? Crazy. And so, because the way it would work in my household growing up, and it's no shade to my dad, I used to be embarrassed, so I never addressed it because I love my dad. So I never want nobody to think he bad. He's not bad. My daddy's great. He did what he knew. But there was an association unconsciously. So isn't it interesting that my first real relationship was what? Abusive. And it was my norm for 3 years. Isn't that crazy? Do you guys see there's always a story? And then when you try to move on, if you don't check the story and create the new belief, you have to create the new belief, or else that little belief of, yeah, yelling and people talking crazy, that's normal. That's it. You know, they love you. That's why they're doing that. They love you. That's why they're doing that. That little story is swirling around. Next thing you know, you'll find yourself in the same scenario, different person years later. How? Because that belief hasn't been addressed. Does this make sense? You have to check the beliefs, and it's going to require you to dig deep. And you can't, like, I ain't going to say you can't, because you will. You will feel guilt. You will feel shame, because you're going to always wonder, what did I do to deserve that? Or I don't want to think that, they didn't really mean that. I love that person. It doesn't make them wrong. It is what it is. This is what happened. And so your goal is to just be able to move past it. So you have to forgive what happened. You got to forgive what happened and then create the new belief. Right? And so, hey guys, I see you guys lit on YouTube. Confirmation what I've been doing. Praise God. Boom. Tori says, yes. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. So you have to actually forgive what happened. Forgive yourself. Because a lot of times we beat ourselves up for stuff that had we had no control over it. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you don't forgive it, you're going to keep seeing it in your life. It's going to keep dwindling. And so the result you want won't be the way that you want it, because that thing is still there. You got to remove the residue from your heart. This takes work. This isn't easy. This don't feel peaches and cream. But this is how you get different results. Everything starts in your mind. And you have to be a miner. Isn't that what people used to do? Don't they mind? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. What is it called? Mining. What is that? The process or industry of obtaining coal minerals from a mine. So mining is the extraction of valuable minerals or geological materials from earth. Boom. This is what my brain was trying to do. A miner, like if you're mining, you're extracting things, right, from the earth. Well, you have to be mining your mind. You have to constantly be extracting old beliefs. And here's the crazy part, guys. It's a lifetime work. Why? How did a couple of weeks ago, I just realized that there was an association with the yelling and the screaming in my household and love. Because my dad would go ham 1 second and then he would tell me that he said it because he loved me. So it was this cycle. Of course, that's what I received because I didn't even know that was happening. I didn't even know that was actually happening in my head. And who teaches you this? That's why I'm on here for free. I got other stuff to do. But I just want you guys to understand, like, this is the work that you got to do on a daily basis. And it's not that you can't do all your life situation at once. Pick a result that you choose to now change. And you have to check the story on the timeline. I love it. Mind your mind. Exactly. And so, what I love about life is that you get to design it. So if you are no longer available for living check to check, perfect. Now, just be sure and do the work underneath that. That's the new rule. And so here's the thing. Being no longer available for it, okay, perfect. I'm not available to be, living check to check. What am I available for? Because a lot of times we say that and then we don't have what you are available for. How much more money do you have left over? Where is it coming from? What are the clients like? What is the job like? Blah, blah, blah. Write it out. It's not like fake. This is real life. And then you got to figure out, sometimes you look at your relationship and you say, how did I end up in a relationship like that? Or there's a result in your life and you're going, how did I get this? All you got to do is check your storyline. There's a story somewhere. And all you have to do is go, oh, now I'm aware of it. Check the belief that the story gave you. Because the story gave you some type of belief. I'm not good enough. I am good enough. I need to be quiet. I'm too light. I'm too dark. I'm too this. I'm too that. The stories create those beliefs. So then you get to just create the new belief. I am more than enough. I am a conqueror. I am a victor. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. I can. I will. I am. Right? You begin to create these new beliefs and you have to literally embed them in yourself. The same way that old belief that didn't serve you was embedded, you've got to embed the new belief. The best way I know to do it is make a song about it. You ain't got to be no singer. Just write a new belief that you choose to now resonate with. Write the new belief and then make sure that you forgive any and everybody involved in the story. So for example, with money, my mom, all she ever did was talk about, like, it was the running joke in the family. People would be like, you know how your mom is. She'll try to split a penny 4 ways. Like my mom would take a roll of paper towels and cut them in half. Now, here's what's interesting. Me and my brothers always say, she was the first one to make you know how you can buy paper towels half size? My mama been doing that before it was ever done, honey. That's what she did because she split the tissue, the paper towels. She always always trying to save stuff that ain't even like that, because her mentality was, here's the thing. Let me just help you guys understand what I'm saying. We about to wrap it up and roll out. What is the belief that happens when you see your mom always cutting paper towels in half, crying because she said there's not enough money, always just saying, no, you can't buy that because there ain't no money. Who gonna pay for that? What belief does that create in the child watching? Somebody tell me in the comments. Boom, Everlasting Glow just hit it. Let me see who else hit it. Wow, Donna. Right, 88 struggles. Boom, okay, YouTube is on fire. Yes, scarcity, limited, lack. Yes, yes, and yes. So what I had to struggle with was always feeling like I was going to run out of something. Even when I do really, really well, I go, something happens because it doesn't just all go away and you're perfect now. You will see that the more levels you go up, like the more I started making money, it will come up and I would have to start chanting my beliefs, start loving myself, start forgiving myself, forgiving my mom, forgiving the scenario, right? And then I have to take action in alignment with the new belief, right? Does that make sense, guys? Same thing with weight. A lot of people talk about weight. A lot of times I talk to women, their weight is completely emotional and they know it. They know that it comes from they feel good when they're eating. You know, something happened when they were skinny, so they decided to get fat so it won't happen to them again because they were skinny. I literally have met women who were molested or raped or something, and so they got bigger as a protection. Or I've met women who were talked about because they were small, and then they got big so people could leave them alone. I've met women who just feel better because they're lonely and they eat because it just soothes them because they wish they weren't lonely. So I've met so many different stories. I've met women who were just tired and stressed out from life and, you know, baby daddy acting up or whatever. So the weight just comforts them. Like it's crazy. It has nothing to do with anything. So they take every diet, they take every whatever. But the reason why the weight is there has nothing to do. Well, we'll say little to do with the food, literally. And I've seen women change their lives and drop weight because they changed their mind. They forgave the story. They addressed the story, right? And it requires you to dig deep. You're going to have to ask yourself the question over and over and over and over. And what's funny is you find new stories. You find new stories. So the whole thing is this. To get new results, you have to change the way you think, okay? And changing the way you think is not an overnight process. So it's going to require you to chew on one thing at a time, have patience, and be committed to the new result. You're going to have to visit, revisit, because there's things happening in our minds that we don't even know about. So many people, all my hairstylists on here, you guys are saying, okay, I don't have clients. But what happens when you go up to a client, they can feel energetically all the rejection that you've had in your life. So while you are doing the things that you should be doing to get more clients, your clients feel energy. And so they feel your rejection, your hurt, your fear, your scarcity that, oh my God, I still got to pay my bills. Oh my God, blah, 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 blah. They feel that. And so while you may catch a few clients, they're not even your ideal clients. And you find yourself just frustrated and you feel stuck in this weird cycle of never really all the way. Why? Because your beliefs are running how you approach people. If you've had problems with self-esteem, the way you dress, you know what I'm saying? And you say you're a stylist, people are going to instantly look and see, like, is your hair done? Is like whatever. They're checking even unconsciously. But if you don't feel good about yourself, you're not going to shine your brightest. And so you're out to attract clients, but you're not shining your brightest energetically. You're rejecting. Does that make sense, guys? And so you can do all the things, but if you don't change that, you keep getting the same result. So this is not something you could really do in a one live stream. That's why we said we're just going to keep talking about it, right? And you guys leave me comments below of a result that you're trying to get. And then we can just do scenarios. Like the way that I learn is if I learn a concept, I like to work through the scenario at different examples until I get the concept. And then now that I get the concept, I can apply it to my life. So that's the kind of the way that I learn. It's kind of like a gym of like learn a concept, test until you understand the concept. And then it's going to be easier for you to catch your habits and catch the things that you want to, shift in your life. Right? So this ain't no sprint. This is a straight up marathon, and it takes time to really get the results. But hey, Jerry, but everything starts in your mind. Everything. Letitia says, I was just thinking about changing the way that I think. Yes, you have to. You cannot get to a new level with the same mindset that got you to where you are. That you can't. You can't. It's going to be a new, but like you need new thinking habits, new processes. You need new people, right? And that's why we have this community where we can come on here and just talk real stuff. This ain't no light-hearted stuff, you know? But it's what we have to do. Yes, addressing the story has really helped me. I journal and clear it up with God and move on and don't look back. Right. And the whole thing, that's exactly what you have to do. And it's going to come up again. Like, I don't know about you guys, but my stuff still comes up. But it's just, I'm aware of it now. So I can go, oh, hi, you're there. Okay, we know how this goes. And now I know what belief supports me and where I'm going. And I just say, oh, I'm grateful for my past. I'm happy about that reminder. I'm so happy I made it through that. I'm so happy that I have that testimony to tell. Like, you got to really look at how, because your mind is a battlefield, right? And so it's just, if you don't pay attention to your mind, everything else is, and it's going to be building the story. The crazy part is that as a child, you have no control over the story that's being built. So there's a story that's embedded in you and that you have to check all the time and see, wait, does that serve me? There's so much stuff that they told me at church. I'm like unavailable for it. People start talking away, my mind shuts down. I'm not available for some of these rules that people made from church. And then you got to look at history. I love history because when you start to look at the rule, sometimes you believe a rule and then they done shouted and start crying. And so you feel like, oh, that's right. That is right. Because they emotional with it too. No, go look at where some of these rules come from. That stuff come from some old slave stuff or somebody trying to be controlling, blah, blah, blah. You have to always check. Like Hillary Clinton say, fact check. Check the facts. Check the facts. Right? And so the same thing happens in your life. Something's happening, check the facts. It's that simple. It really is. It really is. It's a simple process, but it requires heavy lifting. And it ain't for the lighthearted because it's going to make you want to quit. It's going to make you want to like just not be like, ugh, it's just a lot. It's mindset mastery. Exactly. Right. So yeah. So like growing up, my mom, I see you guys answering that. Growing up, my mom always was like, there's not enough. She still does that to this day. And I check her now, like when my mom says something like, mommy, and she'll say, oh yeah, you told me that we have enough, that we have more than enough. Exactly, ma'am. And so she always says like, you're the parent now. My mom has symptoms of dementia. So it's interesting to see what she remembers and whatever. And you see how she grew up. She's only a product of her environment. So that's how she grew up. So what did she do with us? She gave us a piece of that. She tried to move forward. My mom got a job. She had her whatever. She got her business certificate and she gave us a great home. But she also still couldn't shake some of those beliefs. And then she started going to this church where they don't even teach you how to think for yourself. So now you're just a product of something else. And it's just a hot mess. And then here we are as children just picking up all your limited beliefs. That's why you got to be careful with the children around you because they're impressionable. And even when you're not talking, you're talking. Right? So what messages are you sending them? Because we look at kids today and we say, oh, they this and they that. Well, they're a product of their environment. If they weren't taught how to think like this, and we always say that they should. No, that's personal development. That's reflection. That's knowing thyself. That's not something because if everybody should do it, then everybody would do it. And then Trump wouldn't be president. Kind of common sense, but I'm just saying. And if you love Trump, I'm sorry, I don't. He's the president. I respect him. But I mean, really, look at this. Doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. You're right about the company you keep. Yes. It's just, but the whole thing is that, guys, we're all trying to get it together. I love how we always try to make one person whatever. We all trying to get it together. That has always been important while I'm raising my kids. Exactly. Because they're picking up the crumbs of your thoughts. So you're giving them a message even when you're not giving them a message. You're giving other people a message about you even when you're not giving them a message. Women, when you walk in the room, ladies, I see so many women, they walk in the room and they just kind of like, you want to sit at the back and you just kind of, you got your little stuff on and you always coming in, and you just come in and you just and you don't want to say too much. You just want to sit in the back. What message are you sending? Because your heart's desire is you want to be a boss, you want this, you want that, you want to call the shots and da. Well, what message are you sending to people? Relationships. You see a man treating you wrong, you ain't saying nothing. You just kind of looking because you like, well, maybe he gonna do something different. And he looking at you because you ain't saying nothing. So all you're telling him is he can keep going with the triflingness that he doing. And you waiting for him to do something different. Who's in control? You guys know what I'm saying? There's always a message being sent. So the whole question is, what message are you sending? What result do you want? The result is directly related to your belief. Whatever you see in your life that you want to change is directly related to your belief. Okay. So if you say, I am done being this many pounds, cool. You got to do the work on how did this happen? And don't be crying and getting all emotional. Sometimes women, we get way too emotional. You want to sit and just, come on, girl, let's talk about it. Me too, girl. Oh, me too. Boo. Let's get over it and let's get through it. I don't want to sit and I don't want no powwow boo-hoo fest. Let's see what happened. Okay. Let's see what belief it created and let's move past it. We don't need to just sit and cry about it for 5 days. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm not with that. No. Women, we get too deep. And that's when it just becomes where you get emotional and then the emotions take over and then you all off task. What happened? What happened? Why? How? Forgive it. I got a manager. I know a lot of women. That's why I don't have a lot of, I do not have a lot of female friends. It gets too emotional about nothing. Like, why would he look at me that way? Well, what do you think that means? Girl, I don't know and don't care. I can't. I'm not available for these kinds of conversations. Not available. Crying all the time. Exactly. Now, I'm not mad at tears, but you just got to be careful because sometimes I have a cousin who literally can cry at the drop of the dime. I got a couple cousins who cry at the drop of the dime and likes the emotions. They like because it's attention. So it makes you significant because you need some attention. So now you like, hold me. No. Nobody has time for that. Move around. What result do we want? Do we want the result or not? You could die. I could die tomorrow. Do I want the result or do I want to sit and spend my 10 minutes in these tears because I want some attention? No. Okay? God gives you all the attention you need. Keisha is not the nurturer. She is the drill sergeant. I nurture people. I've nurtured a lot of people, but we're just not going to sit there for a long time. I'm going to let you cry, but we're not going to just live and just, nobody has time for that. Why do you have time for that? Do you want it or do you not? I don't understand it. I can't do it. Cry and move on to the solution. Exactly. I cry. I be crying by my mama every other day. Like I cry, but I'm just not going to. You will see me moving and walking while I'm crying. Because look, life is short. Life is so short. And people dropping dead like flies, literally just falling out, passing out, dying. So I just look at my minutes and I'm just like, are we really going to spend our minutes doing this? Like what? I mean, I'm just saying. I know what you mean. I'm still working on me, but it's time to live out loud. That used to be me. It has been a while. My teacher in Cosmo School used to always tell me, what you speak so loud, I can't hear a word you say. I applied that to my life, raising my kids. I got a manager like that. She get on my nerves crying all the time. Oh, my mama said that too. Too stressful. I can't do it. Move on to a solution. Right. Yeah, ladies, we be getting a little emotional, a little catty sometimes. There's nothing wrong with emotions. They are necessary. Feel the feeling, but choose the behavior. That's what, yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like you can have the emotions, not against it. What we're not going to do, well, I don't want to do, and I'm not going to be sitting up watching somebody else just be emotional for attention. Like that's whack. We all got emotions. I get mad, angry, pissed, sad, depressed, happy, joyful, all of the things, but you just choose what, feel it because it's an indicator. It is healthy to cry. It's healthy to be mad. My auntie know when I get mad, I call her, I'm pissed. And then by the time we done talking, I'm over it. I'm complete. I'm on to the next thing. Suck it up and quit crying out. Quit. Like the whole thing is, yes, there we go. Cry and move on to the next thing. Sometimes you have to cry while you're doing, right? It's okay. It's cool. Like, I've cried during plenty of moments. You have to remember, I've had several guns held to my head, homeless, black eye, bruised thighs, still at work the next day. Good morning. Just sad about the next night. I couldn't sit in that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. When you sit in it, how you gonna get through it? I'm just saying. I love how everybody just keep hitting their alarm clocks around here. Everybody sleep. I'm loud. It's 11 o'clock. I'm gonna wake everybody up. Wake up. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go. That's totally different. Doing it just for attention. True. Yeah, that's what I'm referencing. You can tell when somebody just needs to cry. Like they just need. I just told my friend recently, she just cried. Like she needed that. But I'm telling you, like, I got somebody in my family, like they just cry because they just want attention. And they think that, I don't know what they think, but every time you could just tell, you could feel that they just, like your tears are real, but you're dragging it out because you like the attention that it's getting you. Wake up on the mic. Everyone needs to wake up. No one's had breakfast. It's time. I'm gonna get cussed out. Okay, love y'all. I'm about to go. Thank you for Lakeisha for this message. I'm relating to it on so many levels. You're welcome, Donna. My auntie told me Keisha's not a nurturer, she's a drill sergeant. This is probably true. Marianne, you want differently, you got to think differently. Exactly. Tiffany Nelson says, I so needed this. Yay! Donna says, I don't know what normal is. LOL, I'm with you about Trump. I think normal is relevant. Like normal to what? Like it's going to be normal. It has to be compared to something. So if I say it's not normal to do something, that means there's a standard somewhere. So like so what I consider normal is not normal for you. Like I see my friends all the time go, Keisha, that ain't normal. I'm like, it's my norm. Norms change. As I change, my norm changed. And that is all. Okay, I'm going to go now. Hope this was good. Hope you guys understood that. I mean, I should have outlined it and prepared like a whole lesson. But I just remember yesterday we said we wanted to talk about it again. And that we were going to talk about it for a while. So maybe I should just break down each segment. I'll figure it out. So let me know in the comments, replay viewers especially, if you guys want to continue this conversation. Exactly, Auntie, create your own standard, not someone else's. Pretty much, because they created the standard. So you can test it, you can try it. A lot of times we have standards based on from how we grew up. Like my auntie and we just grew up a certain way when it comes to like how we keep our house, you know, how we treat people. That's our standard. That's our family standard. You know what I'm saying? Even the most trifling family member is going to treat you a certain kind of way because that's our family standard. And then you can keep raising the standard if you choose, or you can release the standard if it no longer serves who you decide to be. Thank you for this forum. You're welcome. Do you guys understand? I hope I didn't just confuse y'all, because sometimes I could be confusing. I get it. I'm just trying to help. That's all. Just trying to help some people out with things that I'm learning, and you know, that helps me. But the moral of the story is how to really get results is look at what you want and then what belief really gets you there. Like, and then what story do you need to forgive, let go of, and change? You create the new story. So that is the backdrop in your life. And I think just with songs, you got to be finding some music. That's why I give you guys all these songs, because that's why I give you guys all these songs, because they have messages in them that help change the narrative or ignite the conversation in the back of your mind. Like it says, my life's on fire. I can be anything if I just believe it. Like, that's a message that I have in your subconscious mind. Or we have these songs that say, wake up to your greatness. Like, and it's just telling you that you are great, right? You have songs that say, act like a success, think like a success in order to become the best. That's a reminder, so that if you even thought about acting like you need to, you know, dim down your light, you're like, no, successful people, what I want, that's not what that person would be doing. So I got to act differently. And right. And so use music, guys, to give you the messages in a fun way that helps stick to your mind. Why do you think the world sings their ABCs? How is she going to remember all them alphabet letters? You sing it, right? And so if there's a new belief that you want, maybe that's what we'll do on next week. We'll make some belief songs. Ooh, that'd be fun. Next week on Good Tea. That would be fun, y'all. We can make some belief songs. What y'all think? Make some belief songs so that you can play them like short ones, so that you can play the new belief over and over and over again. Okay, let me know, guys, even if you're watching a replay. Belief songs, anyone? I think that'll be good. I think that'll be really, really good. Just simple messages that we need to chant and repeat so that we can change the record. Because there's an old record playing with an old story that doesn't serve us. So we got to change the record. And that will help us. Yes, let's make some belief songs. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, it is time for like lunch. Love you guys. I'll see you later. Yes, I am worthy. I knew that was going to be one. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. We'll make some of that. That's going to be fun. And you can play it in the morning or when you need a pick-me-up or when you're about to go get some clients. I listen to your songs quite often. So inspiring, and I share them with others. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys, go on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, any digital store, Tidal, Spotify, and just type in Lakeisha Michelle, and you will see songs. Look at them and find some songs. Play them for your children. Like that really is what I really want children to get new messages. Because right now, a lot of the messages that they're getting, I don't know. You just need to make sure you're giving them the message that you want them to have. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. Okay, I'm going to go eat. I love you guys. If you have any questions, go to lakeishamichelle.com. And this is Good Tea for Life, where we talk about all things good for your soul. And we'll be back next week in 10 o'clock hour Central Time. I'm trying to be on time this time. 10 o'clock a.m. Central. Try to be on time. Okay, love you guys.